And a seconder. Member Panag, is there Member Emmett? Could I please have your motion, Member Panag?
Moved by myself and seconded by Member Hammond, that the minutes of the April 17, 2025 meeting of the Committee of Adjustment be approved as printed.
Thank you for the motion. Members, please indicate if you are in favor of the motion, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt?
Yes.
Member Vamus?
Yes.
Member Hamilton?
Yes.
Member Panag?
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to adopt the minutes from April 17th, 2025 has carried. They are now in record. And we will now move to the public hearings. I will now introduce item 5.1 for application A525PB and turn it over to staff for the presentation of the report and the recommendation.
Good afternoon, members of the Committee of Adjustment and Chair. My name is Pierre Bordeaux, and I'm here to present minor variance application A525PB submitted by Maverick Development Corporation for the property municipally known as 10 Markle Drive, located within the Paris Meadows subdivision. The subject property has a frontage of approximately 340 meters and a lot area of 1.45 hectares. It's currently vacant and part of registered plan 2M 1973. The site is located at the northeast corner of Markle Drive and Hutchings Road, surrounded by residential and institutional uses to the north and east, and future employment and commercial uses to the south and west. It is within the urban settlement area of Paris and has proximity to Rest Acres Road and Highway 403. Under the County of Brant zoning bylaw 6116, the property is zoned General Commercial C2, which permits a broad range of commercial uses, including retail, grocery stores, pharmacies, as per section 10.1. In the official plan 2023, the site is designated community corridor, which promotes compact, mixed-use, and pedestrian-friendly development as outlined in section 5.1.2. A site plan control application SP 1924DN is currently under technical review by staff, and the minor variance application today is a complement to the process to address site-specific constraints. Specific site conditions, the applicant is seeking relief from provisions in the zoning bylaw. Oh, how to go back? Okay. The requested relief are four. First one is reduced minimum street setback as per section 10.2.1, which here indicated by number 1 on the proposed site plan or site layout at the corner of Hutchings, and other one, number 1, at the corner intersection between Markle and Hutchings. The second requested relief is to increase driveway width, which here indicated by number 2 on the site plan, at the north entrance and the south entrance to the site. The third relief requested is to reduce parking supply as per section 5.12.1, which is here indicated in the site layout by number 3. The fourth and last request of the relief will be indicated by number 4, which to permit the use of required parking spaces for snow storage. These variances has been analyzed against the 4 tests set out under section 45(1) of the Planning Act and are supported by policy framework in both the official plan and the provincial planning statement, 2024. Details about each relief, each request of relief. I would start with the reduced street setback. The zoning bylaw requires a 6 meters minimum street setback under section 10.2.1. However, relief is requested to permit a setback of 3 meters for retail A and retail B. I would go to the site layout. So the site layout consists of retail A and retail B. And the street setback requested a relief from will be on the corner of retail B and the bend of Hutchings Road and the other corner intersection between Hutchings and Markle Drive. Relief is requested to permit a setback of 3 meters for retail A and 2.5 meters for retail B, affecting only the 2 buildings' corners. It is worthy to mention that sidewalks do not wrap the intersection due to subdivision design. However, this is compensated by enhancement in the internal network of pedestrian. Also, architectural enhancement have been introduced to the building corners to improve interface with public realm. Sightline visibility has been addressed through the subdivision approved reduction in the speed and a speed limit of 40 kilometers per hour and chamfered corner designs. All these has been addressed to enhance the design and to mitigate the impact of the requested relief. The second relief requested to increase the driveway width from 10 meters as per section 5.7.2 to a distance of 14.5 meters on Hutchings Road and on Markle Drive, both entrances. However, as per conversations to enhance the design, a rollover curb has been incorporated to ensure the widened access is used only by trucks for light vehicles and pedestrian. So the functional width remains 10 meters for light vehicles and pedestrian. This design balances operational needs with pedestrian safety and aligns with official plan section 5.15.7 and provincial planning statement, which promotes transit supportive and functionally integrated design. The third requested relief is for parking supply as per section 5.12.1. The zoning bylaw requires 208 spaces. Relief is requested to provide 195 spaces. This reduction is justified by a transportation impact study and ITE-based demand analysis, shared trip generation from the sites to anchor tenants further supports the reduced demand. This aligns with official plan intensification and compact design. The fourth request of relief for snow storage on parking spaces as per section 5.1 clause D on the zoning bylaw, which prohibits the use of required parking spaces for snow storage. Relief is required to temporarily use 10 out of 195 parking spaces during winter operations. The parking study received by the county staff on April 28, 2025 confirms that even during peak conditions, the site maintains a surplus of 27 parking spaces. This relief supports land use by avoiding excessive paving and aligns with official plan section 5.15.4 and provincial planning statement. I would like to highlight here that even though the widening of the entrance, north entrance and south entrance, might affect the pedestrian movement. However, the urban design of the site has been enhanced to improve and compensate for this by introducing an internal efficient network for pedestrian and light vehicles, and this slide shows the internal network of pedestrian and path. In conclusion, each of the requested variances satisfies the four tests of the Planning Act. They maintain the general intent and purpose of both the official plan and zoning bylaw. They are desirable for the appropriate development of land. They are minor in nature and impact. While some requests, particularly related to setbacks and driveway width, present urban design challenges, these have been addressed through architectural refinement and coordinated subdivision design. Operational comments raised by the county emphasizes the importance of final engineering review, but do not affect the integrity of the variance application. In conclusion, it is my professional opinion that minor variance application A525PB satisfies all four tests of the Planning Act, conforms to the county's policy framework, and I respectfully recommend that the committee approves the application. We do have the applicant present, and I would like to introduce them for their presentation.
Thank you for your presentation. I'll ask the committee members, do you have any comments or questions to staff? Member Panay?
I have a question to the staff. Since this property is right across from the Brent Community Center, the newly built, is there any restrictions? What kind of use is going to be? For example, restricting a kennel or a wrecking yard or any food processing, pet food processing plant, because that could create a lot of nuisance for the visitors if they're having a barbecue or having a party.
Thank you. Through the chair to member, as per the official plan 2023, The land is designated community corridor, which permits mixed-use developments, and there are commercial, institutional could be integrated in this designation. So we believe that the proposed development aligns very well with the community corridor permitted uses, and there is no conflict between the proposed development as per elaborated and explained by the developer to the staff. And there is no conflict between this development and any land uses that are abutting this land or nearby this land. However, it actually complements the other land uses. So the nature of this development is a grocery store and a retail, drugstore and a grocery store, which we believe it will align very well with the future development of this lot. Does that
Answer.
help?
Thank you.
Member Hamilton, please go ahead.
Through the chair to staff, the fourth point there on the, for the temporary snow, they have to, if we have a big snowstorm, they can put snow there, but are they to move that snow within a week or so like that? Versus leaving it there for a month before they move it?
Through the chair to member, so the use of parking spaces to store the snow is prohibited. However, there is a study has been professionally implemented by experts that has been submitted to the staff, county staff, that conclude that even though with the use of 10 parking spaces, the other parking spaces will be sufficient and will be even 27 spaces abundant or like more than required in peak times. So the other thing is that this snow storage space will not be on like continuously. It's just like during the peak time during a snowstorm. So it is the staff is being relying on expert opinion on this, which concluded that it is sufficient, and the reduction of parking spaces aligns very well with the community corridor designation of the official plan. So the official plan encourages the smart use and the compact use of land designated community corridor. So with that being said, sometimes the zoning bylaw lay the provisions for different lots. However, we believe this is zoned community corridor, so it's always better to reduce the parking spaces as long as they are sufficient as per expert opinion.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Member Vamus?
Through the chair to staff, so right now, there are 13 parking spots short. So in the wintertime, there's going to be another 10, so you're really going to be 23 parking spots short.
During the winter, well,
Yeah, because you're 13 short already.
Yeah.
And then if you add the 10 in the wintertime, then you're 23 short. So that's quite a few.
staff, through the chair to member, staff has received what we, it's a expert opinion regarding a parking requirement study that supports the idea that using 10 parking spaces will not affect the parking spaces required even on peak times. So we do not believe, like we relied on this expert input. So it's even 23 off, it is believed that there are actually 27 spaces beyond the requirement on peak times, as per a study of supply and demand that has been implemented by experts. So the experts, they are neutral, and they did submit this study. And so, yeah, like I feel like we were pushing the developer to rectify the zoning bylaw provisions. However, there is something very important to highlight here in this application. We have faced a lot of challenges in the urban design. And it was about the right balance between what could we support as a minor variance request of relief and what could happen that serves the functionality and operation of the proposed development. So what we have today, even though there are 4 minor variances, but that's we would say that's the balance that after 3 revisions in site plan application, and right now there is a 4th revision site plan to enhance the urban design. And it was about the right balance between what could we accept and what could we not support as a staff. So we believe this application is in the form that we can support to make this operation happen, to make this development happen. So there is a subdivision has been approved that adds to the constraints to the site plan. The subdivision, the constraints of the where is the site, and I would refer as well to this slide. So if we look at where the land is located, it is important to highlight that the lot right east of the Tin Market lot has a steep slope, which means that it is a good practice that you orient all the buildings from the east to the west, facing the west. That's one thing. The other thing is, in order for these two, the drugstore and the retail store, to function, they need specific area. And in order for them to function, they need this area, but they are struck by the requirement of parking spaces. So if we were trying to find the right balance, and increasing the parking spaces will be on the price of compromising the operation. Does that?
Not really, because you mentioned the study says there's 27 surplus spots. So then why is the applicant asking for relief if there's surplus?
So the zoning bylaw requires 208 parking spaces. However, in different locations, the supply and demand of what required to be parking spaces is different than the zoning bylaw. It is important to differentiate between the requirements as per the zoning bylaw and a site-specific or site conditions. As an example, if we do have a site that there is no residential or like it's all residential surrounding this lot, the nearby or all the surroundings are residential, then the actual demand on the parking space will be different. So the actual parking spaces required, it changes from a lot to another lot based on what will be the surrounding, what is the nature of the development. A grocery store will require different than a drugstore, require different than parking spaces, number of parking spaces different than a restaurant. However, all of them might fall under the same zoning bylaw. So even though if they are the same zone but the requirements are different. So as per the zoning bylaw, there is a shortfall of 13. However, as per an expert input, the grocery store and the drugstore will actually not require a lot of parking spaces in the peak time.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the committee? I do have some, but I think I'll leave it until the agent can add, and maybe they can clarify. But the one question I did think of, so the main access for anyone driving a car with the widened driveway, from looking at the drawings, and it's a weakness on my part, but the cars coming in will use the same entrance as the widened driveway for the truck. There's no segregation of entrances, trucks supplying produce, or people shopping. It's all the same.
Through you, Chair, yes, it's the same. However, to mitigate the impact of the widening of the driveway, the entrance, we have introduced a curb rollover, which identifies or defines the entrance for light vehicles and people to be only 10 meters, which is in line with the zoning bylaw provisions. And the widened 14.5 requested relief from is only for the heavy trucks. It is worthy to mention that the heavy trucks, as per the explanation of the developer, will be using the heavy trucks during off-peak times and at night.
Okay. Thank you. Any other comments, questions to staff? Then I believe the agent representing the applicant is online. Is that Brooke? Yeah. Burlock? Okay. Is Ms. Burlock, is there anything you wish to add to the staff report? Looks. Yes, we can see them. Thank you for your presentation and clarification. Then I'll ask committee members, do you have any questions or comments to the agent? Member Vamus?
Through the chair to the agent, building A and B both have a little bit of an angle on the back. Is there any reason why they can't be angled a little bit more, another meter or two more, then you'd be in compliance? And, oh, sorry, and then the other issue, if the buildings were a touch smaller, that would solve all your issues. It would solve your setback, it would solve your probleming, and it would solve the width of the driveway. So in my opinion, the buildings are too large for that size of a lot. You need a bigger size lot to accommodate those buildings. Because a hair smaller, then all your problems would be solved, I think. That's my original opinion, was the lot is too small for your clients. Perhaps you should find a larger lot to suit their needs.
Any other comments or questions from committee members? I do have a question. In your rendering of how it would look, the signs for Shoppers and Freshco face onto Hutchings Road. So when I drove out there, I was having trouble visualizing which way the stores face. So is the expectation for people who want to walk into the store, because the discussion promoted it was pedestrian friendly, this whole site. So how do people enter? Are there entrances from Hutchings Road, or are the only entrances either through this north and south entrances? They park and then they walk in? Right. So there's nothing that is accessed from Hutchings Road directly to the east? Right. Okay, thank you. And you have agreements from Freshco and Shoppers that they are actually, they've contracted to occupy these spaces? Okay. And I guess that's my question. Thank you. Any other comments, questions to the agent? Then I guess I will open the public portion of this meeting or this application. Are there any people either online, which no registered, anyone in the audience who wishes to speak on this? And it appears there are none, so I will close that portion of our application in this meeting. So then I'll ask the committee, are there any final questions or comments to staff and/or the agent? I do have a final question that I guess I would pose to staff now. Since there are different variances and the purpose of them, it's all falls under one application, A525, but the different facets are, there's 4 variances and they have, I mean, 3 and 4 could be lumped together because they address parking. But one is a front yard setback and one is the driveway width. So why are they all under one application? Would there not be like an A5, A6, A7? And how do we address it to make a motion? Because do we make a motion for just the one variance that covers all these different aspects?
I can take that one. Madam Chair, one property, one minor variance application number. We understand that there's multiple components to it. They've all been assessed individually and collectively. Certainly some of them, as you mentioned, may be related and some unrelated. If the committee chooses to break them up and make a decision on each of them individually, then we can certainly do that. We can number them 1, 2, 3, 4 as they are listed on the recommendation. We'll just take direction from the committee.
Thank you. Then, are there any final comments, questions on this application? Then I'll ask for a motion, and whoever puts forth the motion needs to indicate if you're addressing just the one aspect of the application or all of them falling under one. Member Emmett, you wish to put a motion?
I'll declare the motion and leave all the variances in as one motion.
Okay, thank you. So will you move, are you providing a motion now? And if
I
you
can.
state it, and see if you obtain a seconder.
Moved by myself, seeking a seconder, that application A5-25-PB be approved with all the variances attached.
Seconder, Member Hamilton, and I'll now put it to the vote, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt,
Yes.
Member Vamus,
No.
Member Hamilton,
Yes.
Member Penag, and Member Brown, no. I feel that it's not quite proper planning on this site. That's my opinion. The motion to approve application A525 has carried. The application has been approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will now introduce item 5.2 for application A425PB and turn it over to staff for the presentation of the report.
Good afternoon. Presenting application minor variance number A425PB for 4 corners lots within the Lauderdale subdivision. The owner is Haggerty Homes, represented by the English Group. The application seeks relief from Section 9 of zoning bylaw 6116 to permit a reduced exterior street setback. The subject lands are part of Lauderdale, as also known as Summit Estates subdivision. This is a recent draft approved residential development located in the airport area of Paris. The site is located within a fully serviced developing area surrounded by similar low-density residential zones. The lots in question are situated at corners, which typically have additional setback requirements due to sight lines and interface with the street. The slide right now shows the subdivision, the whole subdivision of Summit Estate. And the 4 lots in question are 11, 22, 23, and 32. Under zoning bylaw 6116, the properties are zoned suburban residential according to the County of Brant Official Plan 2023, I apologize. The lands are designated village developed area, which supports low-density residential. The variance request is to reduce the required exterior side yard setback or street setback from 7.5 meters to 5.1 meters. This reduction applies only to 4 corner lots. The intent is to allow consistent building envelopes throughout the subdivision, ensuring a uniform streetscape and practical design continuity without any adverse impact on streetscape or infrastructure. This application aligns with several key planning policies. The County Official Plan 2023 supports this under Section 2.6, Village Developed Area, Section 2.3, Growth Management, and Section 3.3.2, Residential Policies. The proposal is also consistent with the 2024 Provincial Planning Statement, including policies on settlement focus and intensification land use efficiency. Under zoning bylaw 6116, all other requirements of the suburban residential provisions are met apart from the reduced setback. The variance is minor, desirable, and maintains the general intent of both the zoning bylaw and the official plan. In conclusion, staff recommend approval of minor variance A425 PB. The requested relief from the 7.5 meter setback is appropriate, conforms with applicable policies, and facilitates good site design. Thank you for your attention. I will be happy to answer any questions regarding this application.
Thank you, Pierre, for the presentation. Do any committee members have any questions or comments on this? Member Hamilton?
Through the chair to staff, I'm just slightly confused here, and I think I'm just looking for clarification. On the third page, page 3, you say it's in the southern part of Paris. I always thought that was Brantford Township at one time, and my question is, would it be better to be stated the Oak Hill Airport settlement boundary versus south of Paris?
Through the chair to member Hamilton, I would agree with you, and we will correct this.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions from committee members to staff? Member Hamilton?
Through the chair to staff, I'm just curious, we are doing 4 minor variances here, and my question is, has the developer paid for 4 minor variances, or is he paying for 1, and therefore we should only give 1?
Through Madam Chair, I can address that one. So currently, the lot subject to this subdivision is, the subdivision is not yet registered, so today it is 1 lot. The variance seeks relief from the provision related to the street setback. So the variance requested was 1 application under 1 fee that applies to the entire parcel. And for the committee's benefit, when this subdivision is registered, it will create the lots, and we've identified which lots the variance would be applied to once the lots are created in the future.
Okay, just to follow that up, I believe in the past, we've had the subdivision already approved, and then we've had to do individual lots. So I'm just trying to, in my mind, is going to sell these 4 lots separately to 4 different people. And in the past, they would have had to pay for 4 separate minor variances. But you're saying because the subdivision has not been created, they can go ahead and take a minor variance, this minor variance, if we approve it, to apply to any lot. They've identified 4, but could they be identified to other lots within that subdivision because it's approved at that time?
Through Madam Chair, the variance is worded in a few ways. One is that the minimum street setback is 7.5 meters, and they're asking for 5.1. And they're seeking relief, the way it's worded in the recommendation, relief to permit a reduced street setback of 5.1 meters along the external side yard abutting the future extension of Willowdale Street. And then we've identified the specific future lots, so that setback will only apply to those future lots or the lots that are requiring the relief along the future extension of Willowdale. So still one application seeking relief from one provision on one parcel.
Fair enough, but I see you've attached the 1, 2, 3, 4, showing each of them individually.
For the committee's benefit.
Oh, well, thank you for pointing that out to us. All right, thank you.
Any other comments or questions to staff on this? Then is the applicant or their agent present to make a report? Thanks. Do you wish to add to the report?
Good evening. My name is Ruchika Angrish. I'm here to answer any questions. I believe the staff report has explained the reasons for the variance. It only applies to the corner lots because of the design of the house that is being proposed in this subdivision, and to remain consistent with the remaining subdivision lots. And we are very close to registration and wanted to move forward with the variances so that the building permits can be applied in a very timely manner. Other than that, I have nothing else to add, Madam.
Any other comments, questions to the agent from committee members? Member Vamus?
Through the chair to the agent, that's what usually, like Member Hamilton said, the subdivision plan would be, then the 4 lots will be off that, but see, we're going off a draft plan instead of a subdivision plan. So nothing's registered, so that's why usually it's a subdivision, and then we do 4 off there, and it should be 4 fees. But we're kind of going the other way, backwards a little bit.
If I can, through you, Madam Chair, the lot numbers that are stated in the recommendation and applied for, it's part of a draft M plan, which is the subdivision plan, which has been approved in principle by staff. And we are just simply waiting for the registration process to complete, which takes several weeks. And in order to, again, it's a nicer weather, we wanted to move forward with getting the building permit applications completed. We had moved forward with the minor variance application in advance of that. So the 4 corner lots that again are stated with the numbers do not change, as the M plan has been approved by staff. Hope that clarifies.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, just the 4 corner lots, nothing's been registered yet, just make the 4 corner lots the houses a little bit smaller.
Member Emmett?
Through you to the applicant, these are just side yard minor variances, correct? Not front or rear?
Through you, Madam Chair, that's correct. It's only the exterior side yard, the front, rear, and the interior side yards are met.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions to the agent? Then I will open the public portion of this application. Anyone here wishing to speak to it? And there is no one online. There is no one who wishes to speak to it. Then I'll ask the committee, are there any final comments or questions on this application to staff or points of discussion? It appears there are none, so I will ask for a motion. I believe that is the only way we can do it, because there is only one application in front of us, and maybe in your wording, you could reiterate the recommendation that the lot numbers, it's 1122, so if we run into problems that we've seen in other subdivisions where they get the building up and then they need a minor variance. I think by referring just to the lot numbers, it can't be a blanket variance for the whole subdivision. That's my thought. Okay. So do you wish to make a motion, Member Panag? I think it's on page 9 of 16 where it refers to the specific lot numbers.
I'd like to make a motion, application number B 81-22-LG, A 39-22-LG, and A 40-22-LG, and lot numbers 11, 22, 23, and 32.
I'm somewhat confused by your motion. What numbers were you referring to at the start?
The application,
Correct application numbers.
the application,
Is A4-25-PB.
yes,
No, that's the wrong one.
What is he reading from? Oh, you're right.
Reading those numbers.
Okay.
There you go.
sorry. I'd like to make a motion that application A4-25-PB, lot number 11, 22, 23, and 32 be approved with conditions attached.
There were, your reasoning that it meets the tests?
The four test should be passed.
Yeah. Is there a seconder for it? Member Schmidt? I'll now call the vote, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes?
Member Schmidt?
Yes?
Member Vamus?
No?
Member Hamilton?
Yes.
Member Panag?
Yes.
Brown, yes. The motion to approve application A4-25-PB for lots 11, 22, 23, and 32 has carried, so that application has been approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will now introduce item 5.3 for application B81 and application A39 and application A40-22-LG, and turn it over to staff for the presentation of the report and the recommendation.
Good evening. This proposal is for a lot line adjustment and recognition of legal non-compliant parcels that consist of 3 separate applications for the lands located at 347 6th Concession Road within the geographic township of Burford. So that would be consent application B81-22-LG, minor variance application A39-22-LG, and another minor variance application A40-22-LG. Just for clarity, each application will be presented individually as they are subject to independent decisions. I'd like to note that these applications were previously deemed complete under the 2012 official plan and put on hold at the request of the applicant. Therefore, the reinstated was reviewed in accordance with the same policy framework and transition policies outlined in the new official plan 2023. And also, there were no changes made to this proposal. The subject lands are located east of West Quarter Town Line Road and south of 6th Concession Road. Currently, there is 1 existing residential dwelling, 1 accessory structure, and agricultural-related buildings. The lot has a frontage of approximately 313.2 meters, which is 1,026.9 feet, and an area of approximately 28.40 hectares or 70.17 acres. The benefiting parcel at 3356 Concession Road within the geographic township of Burford contains one existing dwelling. The lot has a frontage of approximately 22.86 meters, 75 feet, and an area of approximately 728.43 meters, or square meters, which is 0.18 acres. The surrounding area consists of residential land uses to the east and agricultural land uses towards the north, south, and west. Subject lands are privately serviced by well and septic. The subject lands are designated as agricultural, hamlet, villages, and natural heritage under the County of Brant Official Plan 2012, and zoned agricultural, residential, hamlets and villages, and natural heritage under zoning bylaw 6116. The applicant is proposing a lot line adjustment and the recognition of legal non-complying farm parcel at 347 6 Concession Road, and the recognition of the legal non-compliant residential areas at 335 6 Concession Road. As noted earlier, the proposal involves three components, each of which will be addressed through separate application. So this is part one for application, consent application B8122LG, which proposes a lot line adjustment involving the severance of approximately 0.1 hectares or 0.25 acres from 347 6 Concession Road to be conveyed to the property at 335 Concession Road. The lands to be conveyed are designated hamlet and villages and zoned residential hamlets and villages. These lands identified by the red outline were previously rezoned from agricultural to residential hamlet and villages through zoning bylaw amendment application ZBA 46-15-BH, which was approved by council on January 26, 2016. This is a minor variance application, A39-22LG, which is seeking to recognize the modified area of the existing legal non-compliant lots, outlined in green, resulting from the related lot line adjustment consent application, B8122LG. Although the retained agricultural parcel at 347 6 Concession Road, which is outlined in green, will be further reduced, the reduction is considered appropriate as the lands being conveyed are designated and zoned appropriately and will help to bring the residential parcel at 335 6 Concession Road into greater compliance within the zoning bylaw. Part 3 is a minor variance application, A40-22-LG, which is seeking to recognize the modified area of the existing legal non-compliant residential lot, which is outlined in the yellow, being 1,740.15 square meters or 0.43 acres, also resulting from the related lot line adjustment application B81-22-LG. The proposed conveyance will increase the lot size, which will bring the parcel closer to zoning compliance. Additionally, the benefiting parcel at 335 6 Concession Road shares the same designation, hamlet and villages, as the lands to be conveyed. Therefore, both the benefiting and the conveyed lands are entirely located within the Cathcart settlement boundary. Notice of the application was mailed April 30th, 2025 to all property owners within 60 meters of the subject lands. No development is being proposed with these applications, and no public comments have been received during the review of the applications. As a result of the review of the consent application, I am of the opinion that the application B81-22-LG is in keeping with the general intent of the provincial planning statement regarding lot line adjustments and the general intent of the county's official plan and zoning bylaw. The proposed lot line adjustment will not result in a new creation of a lot. It is my professional opinion that the minor variances to recognize the undersized agricultural parcel and residential parcel are legal non-complying and considered existing lots of record, are appropriate and meet the four tests as established in Section 45(1) of the Planning Act. Therefore, I'm recommending approval of the consent and minor variance applications B8122LG, A3922LG, and A4022LG, subject to the attached conditions. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Roxana. Do any committee members have comments, questions to staff on this? Member Emmett?
So the farm behind it would be zoned agriculture, I presume. So this lot is zoned rural residential? Would the new lot being added to it be considered the same zoning as the house is now?
Through the Madam Chair to committee, yes, the new parcel that is going to be added to the residential lot is zoned the same as hamlets and villages.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Member Vamus?
Through the chair to staff, the parcel, the retained lands is about 70 acres. But I see the majority of it is bush or wood lot. How much is it farmable or how much is workable, do you know, out of the 70?
Through the Madam Chair to committee member, I am not certain as to how much of that parcel is tillable, I believe, or farmed. I can give you that information later.
Any other comments, questions to staff? Then is the applicant or their agent present? No? No applicant or agent? Okay, then I guess I'll open anyone in the public who wishes to speak to this application. And there is none. No comments, final comments or questions from committee members? Then I'll ask for a committee member to make a motion, and since they are labeled as different applications, make a motion for each. Member Hamilton, can you go ahead, please?
I move that we accept consent application B81-22LG with the conditions attached because they meet the official plan of the County of Brant and the provincial government seeking a seconder.
Member Schmidt, I'll now call the vote. Member Emmett?
Yes.
Member Schmidt?
Yes.
Member Vamus?
Yes.
Member Hamilton?
Yes.
Member Panag?
Yes.
And Brown, yes. So the motion to approve application B81-22 has carried. Do you wish to do the other? Okay. Please go ahead.
I move that we accept minor variance application A39-22LG because it's minor in nature and fits the four tests of a minor variance.
And do you wish to
Seeking a
second?
seconder.
Yes. Member Schmidt will second. I'll now call the vote. Member Emmett?
Yes.
Member Schmidt?
Yes.
Member Vamus?
Yes.
Member Hamilton?
Yes.
Member Panag?
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to approve application A39-22-LG has carried. That application is now approved. I have your motion on the next one.
All right, I move and looking for a seconder for minor variance application A40-22LG because it is minor in nature and fits the four tests of a minor variance.
Thank you.
Seeking a seconder.
Member Schmidt will second. Member Emmett, I'll start
Yes.
with your vote. Member Schmidt,
Yes.
Member Vamus,
Yes.
Member Hamilton,
Yes.
Member Panag,
Yes.
and Brown, yes. The motion to approve application A40-22-LG has carried, so that application is now approved too. I will now introduce item 5.4 for application B5-25-RF and turn it over to staff for the presentation of the report.
Hello again. This is a consent application for the creation of one new industrial lot at 490 Brant County Road number 18, located within Canesville. Subject lands are located north of Ewart Avenue, south of Colborne Street East, east of Brant County Road 18, and west of Zola Road. Subject lands are surrounded by industrial and institutional uses. Currently, there is an existing large format retail use and related buildings, which is the PV Mart, established and in compliance with previous site plan approval SP 20-12-JK, and currently serviced by municipal water and sanitary and storm. There are no natural heritage features on the subject lands. Subject lands are designated general employment within the new County of Brant Official Plan 2023 and is currently zoned heavy industrial with site-specific within the County of Brant zoning bylaw 6116. The applicant is proposing to create one new industrial lot, subject lands at 490 Brant County Road number 18. The retained parcel outlined in the red on the map will maintain a frontage of approximately 116.82 meters along Brant County Road 18 and 81.51 meters on Ewart Drive, with an area of 1.03 hectares. The severed parcel will have a frontage of 53.50 meters along Ewart Drive and an area of approximately 0.168 hectares. A storage structure is currently located on the proposed severed lot line and will be relocated or modified to meet the required 3-meter setback, and a condition of approval has been included to ensure its compliance. So here from the picture, you can see where the storage structure is located and where the severed lands are located. It is important to note that wastewater capacity for Canesville is currently limited. In the interim, future development will require a temporary private holding tank, and servicing details will be addressed through a site plan approval process at the time of development. No development is being proposed as part of this application, and future development of the severed and retained lands will be subject to a detailed technical review as part of the site plan control application. As a result of the consent review, staff is of the opinion that the applicant is in conformity with the policies of the provincial planning statement regarding employment lands and is in conformity with the general intent and policies of the county's official plan and zoning bylaw. Therefore, I'm recommending approval of consent application B5-25-RF. And thank you, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the presentation, Roxana. And are there any questions or comments from committee members on this? Member Hamilton?
Through the chair to staff, that building that is there is on a cement pad right now and looks fairly secure. You're saying it's going to be moved in order, or can they apply for a minor variance to have it within acceptable? Is that another option?
Through Madam Chair to committee member, yes, it is an option, and that was brought forth to the applicant, but it is our understanding that the structure will be modified or relocated, and the applicant is also here, and maybe he could provide more details on whether the structure is on cement or how they're going to relocate or modify it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments to staff on this application? Then I would ask that the applicant or their agent, if present, could speak to this.
Good evening, committee members. My name is Richard Kelly Ritz. I'm a planner with GSP Group, and I'm here as the agent for the owner for this application. I'll keep my remarks pretty brief. I've reviewed the staff report with our client and all of the conditions, and we don't have any comments or concerns. I can just speak briefly to committee member Hamilton's comment about the accessory structure on the lot line between the severed and the retained lands. So it is a large storage shed. It's on a slab and currently wouldn't meet the 3-meter zoning setback requirement to the new lot line that would be created through this application. That being said, our client just last week was able to relocate the structure to meet that 3-meter lot line setback. So in other words, they've proactively gone ahead to achieve the proposed conditions. So should committee approve the application this evening, we can provide documentation of that to staff as part of clearing the conditions to show that the structure now has that 3-meter setback. And I'm available for any other questions. Thank you.
Member Hamilton, please go ahead.
Through the chair to the applicant, that's the steel structure there. There are 3 other structures there. Are they going to be taken down and moved for the future? My understanding is another large retail operation is going to go in there and replace PV Mart.
Through the chair to the committee member, yes, as I understand it, I believe a Home Hardware has just occupied the building. And so that's the replacement for PV Mart. And yes, it's the large storage structure. That's the one that was just relocated. The remaining ones that don't comply with zoning will be removed.
Thank you.
Any other comments to the agent? And again, I will open the public portion of this application. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak to it? Since there are none, are there any final comments, questions to either staff or the agent on this application? Then I would ask for a committee member to make a motion. Member Emmett, please go ahead.
Moved by myself, seeking a seconder, that application B5-25-RF be approved, subject to the conditions printed on the application and with the proposed recommendation, reasons for approval as stated on the application.
Thank you. Seconder, Member Hamilton. I'll now call the vote, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt.
Yes.
Member Vamus.
Yes.
Member Hamilton.
Yes.
Member Panay.
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to approve application B5-25-RF has carried. That application is now approved. The next meeting is now scheduled to be June 19th, 2025, and again will be a hybrid meeting starting at 6 p.m. May I please get a motion to adjourn the meeting? Is there a seconder? Member Vamus. Member Emmett made the motion. Member Vamus. Could I have your motion?
Moved by myself, second by Member Vamus, that the meeting be adjourned.
Thank you. All those in favor, raise your hand. Yes. I now declare the meeting for May adjourned.